Welcome to my house hacking video, which is what I would have done differently had I had Lauren Janes as my realtor from the beginning of my real estate journey. And for all of the tips and tricks that I do share, there are still hundreds that I know that I may or may not share that I've learned over the years from buying and selling hundreds of properties as a realtor and real estate investor. So contact me directly to learn more. Anyways, if I was a first-time buyer, I would buy a multifamily property. Investors who buy multifamily properties as investments have to put down 25%, versus if it was a single family home, you only have to put 20% down. However, if you are going to live in one of the units and you don't already have an FHA loan, you can purchase the property FHA with just a 3.5% down payment. With other tenants living in your other units, you could essentially live for free, which is a no-brainer. Then you keep that multifamily property, and as long as you provide leases for all of the other units, your mortgage lender can then use 75% of your total rent for the building to go towards your debt to income ratio, which means when you are getting pre-qualified to buy a home, the mortgage lender calculates all of your debt payments on your credit report, and they do a calculation with your income to determine what you can afford to buy. So by not having that first mortgage payment count against you, it helps you then to qualify to buy your second property, especially if your income has not increased. Then you buy your second home as a primary residence using a conventional mortgage. And if your income qualifies, you could qualify for a 3% down loan, which is an even lower down payment than going FHA with 3.5% down. If your income does not qualify, meaning you make too much money, you can get away with putting 5% down, which is still way lower and better than putting 20 to 25% down. And another great thing is if it's a primary residence, meaning the home that you are actually going to live in, you get a much lower interest rate than if it was an investment property. Then you could rent that house out eventually, provide a lease to your mortgage lender again, and then you can buy your third property. The only caveat to this is it has to be considered an upgrade from the previous property. You can't just buy the neighbor's house down the street, unless the neighbor's house is a larger home with more bedrooms, etc. It just has to be considered an upgrade. And you can continue doing this on and on and on. There is a limit to the amount of mortgages you can have in your name. 10 was the limit the last I checked. However, another house hack is you can get 10 mortgages in your spouse's name alone and then 10 mortgages in your name versus only having 10 mortgages in both of your names. And then what's so great about jumping from one property to another as your primary residence is you can get away with investing in real estate with the bare minimum. And you get a much lower interest rate, which then equates to a much lower payment. And one last educational takeaway is getting an FHA loan requires that the property be in very good, safe condition. So if the multifamily property that you intend to buy is not, you could get a conventional mortgage with putting down as low as 3%, unless your income does not qualify. Then again, you'd have to put down 5% as the bare minimum. And you could put more, it's up to you. And then what's great about that is that for your second property, you could get an FHA loan as long as it's in safe, good condition. And then most people don't think that you can have two FHA loans at once, but technically you can, as long as it's considered an upgrade and has more bedrooms than the other FHA loan properties So if you don't qualify for a conventional loan using 3% down, putting 3.5% down is so much better than putting 5% down, obviously. So let's do the math. So let's say you buy the first multifamily property for $300,000 going FHA, 3.5% down. The second property for $350,000 with 5% down, single family home. And the third property with 5% down, also a single family home for $400,000. That's $48,000 in total down payment money. Now, if you're an investor and you are not going to live in these properties and do the whole house hacking thing, you have to put down $225,000. Wow, it's quite the difference. And that's all that I have to share. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.